Good morning, super scholars. We are talking about families of the orchestra. Part 2. I am learning to determine which family an instrument belongs to. I know I've got it when I can compare and contrast percussion and string instruments. Let's review. Click on this link to go to Kahoot and see what you remember. What is an orchestra? How many instrument families are there in an orchestra? How do we sort instruments into the correct family? What two families did we learn about last time? What is one thing you learned about each? What is an orchestra? Anyone? An orchestra is a group of instrumentalists playing classical music together. So the time when the orchestras were created, they were playing classical music because that was the music of the time. They weren't playing pop music, they weren't playing hip hop, they weren't playing contemporary, they were playing classical music. So that's what they primarily play. But now they play modern music, they play movie music, they play a lot of different types of music. The instruments in the orchestra are categorized into different families. How many families are there? Let's see, four. Four instrument families in the orchestra. We have the woodwind family, which was in orange, which is the oboes, piccolos and flutes, clarinets, bassoons and double bassoons. We have the brass, which are in green. They are the horns, our trumpets, our trombones, and our tuba. We have the string family, which is in yellow, which is the first violins and the second violins, the viola, the cellos, the double bass, and the harp. And we have percussion, which is all the way in the back in the blue. And you may be saying, Mr. Beasley, you forgot about someone. It's the conductor. Yes, the conductor is the person that leads the orchestra. They tell the different instruments when to come in the music and they make sure the music sounds beautiful for the people in the audience. They are placed into families based on how they make their sound. So, do they just blow through the instrument? Do they need a reed to be blown and produce sound for the instruments? Do they need to be plucked? Do they need to be hit? Do they need to be shaken? Do they need to be played? How do the instruments make their sound? How they are constructed or put together. So, are they long? Are they short? Do they have lots of keys? Do they have no keys? And the materials used. Do they use wood? Do they use metal? Do they use animal hide? Do they use keys? Do they use strings? What is used to put them together? What materials? String family. The string instruments are made of different types of wood. They have a curvy wooden body and a wooden neck. So look at the instruments to the right. Do you see the curvy wooden body? Do you see the curvy wooden neck? String instruments produce noise from the strings placed on top of the instruments. So that's why they're the what? The string family, yes. What do you think the inside of string instruments look like? Can you see? They're actually hollow inside. So there's nothing inside. So when the strings are plucked, It goes inside, and that's how it amplifies the sound. The strings can be made of nylon, steel, or animal materials. It's kind of weird, right? They must be played with a bow, which is made of wood and horsehair. Yes, that's hair from horses' tails, and they press it against the string to create the sound. Next up, watch these videos to learn more about string instruments. The percussion family. This is the largest family in the orchestra. Percussion instruments make sounds when they are hit, scraped, or shaken. Can you think of any percussion instruments? You've probably seen a drum or maybe a piano, maybe an organ or a tambourine. I know Miss Bell has some wood blocks and she has some castanets. Maybe not Congo drums, but I think she does have a djembe. So you've seen some of these instruments. Some are untuned and some are tuned. An untuned instrument, like a drum, doesn't have any particular pitch. And tuned instruments, like the piano or the harpsichord or the organ, do have pitch. So they can make different pitches. So they can go C, D, E, F, G, F, E, D, C. But the drum can't do that. The drum just makes one, just has one pitch. They help to keep the rest of the orchestra playing at the right speed and help to create more interesting music. So, music would be kind of boring if we didn't have any drums or the xylophones or an organ or a piano that was also playing along with this, right? Could you think of music that didn't have anything like that in it? Some people think the piano belongs in the string family. What do you think? Do you see any strings? Oh, yes, there are strings inside of it, but it is a tuned instrument and you have to hit it. Yes, to make the sound. You have to hit the keys. Watch these videos about the percussion family and to learn about some different instruments. Show what you know. I am learning to determine which family an instrument belongs to. I know I've got it when I can compare and contrast woodwind and brass instruments. Use this flip grid to tell how string instruments and percussion instruments are the same and different. I look forward to hearing your different answers on this. Next up, use this Google slide link to sort the instruments into their correct family. Choose three different instruments, not two, not one, not four, three instruments, and explain how you know they belong in the family you've sorted them into. So let's see. Does a violin go into the brass family? No. Is it made of metal? No. Do we blow into it to make sound? No. Okay. Then the violin should not go into the brass family. So go and click on this link and take the test and sort out the instruments. Explore these resources to play games and learn even more about orchestras and instrument families. So we have learn more about the instruments on the left, and we have games that you can play on the right. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.